We are in the year 2024. This is a new year, opportunity, lots of time to evaluate and look back and reflect on the year 2023. And as you can see, this is what's going on. You know how people act when it's a new year, but this should be a reminder to everybody who is actually serious about taking their lives forward in a way that's actually meaningful, because just because it's a new year does not change the fact that we still have things that we need to do. We still have things that we need to focus on. But I would say times like this, a lot of people get distracted. And if you haven't already been working hard from December 25th up until January 1st, then you must be perspicacious enough to evaluate that. And just because it's a new year doesn't mean that you should use it as your gateway. But if you're actually serious, if you actually are interested in actually progressing in your life and taking it forward, that is a choice that you have to make. Now, in life, we're given a whole bunch of different choices. And I just want people to understand that just because it's January 1st does not change anything. Just because it's Christmas, just because it's whatever holiday it is, it's all pagan, doesn't matter. But it's an interesting reminder that we have things that we must get done. As God's people, we should be striving as best as we possibly can every single and each and every single day. Otherwise, what's really the point? What's the point in all of this? You know? But I mean, this is a celebration. This is a time that we should look at and look how far we've made it. Another year. We've made it another year. Rest in peace to all our loved ones who've passed away, who didn't end up making it to the new year. But that should encourage us. That should be motivation to help us proceed forward in our journeys in our life and not take that for granted at all. We should take a look at everything we have. We should be appreciative. And whatever it is that you're striving for in life, give it to God. But you must be the one to put in the effort to accomplish that. This is an incredible moment. This is an incredible time. This is the chance. Now more than ever is the chance that you get to have. You could either blow it off and you could just throw it away, or and repeat the same things from last year onto this year, or you can actually strive to make an active change each and every single day. But that starts with the habits that you incorporate into your life. If you have bad habits, learn to replace them with better habits, and eventually it will become good habits. You want good habits because good habits will be the things that you do every day. You make sure that you get it done, and those habits become part of your discipline. And we need to be able to incorporate that factor in our lives if we want to move forward. And I just find it to be incredible that a lot of people, they don't really look at it like that. They look at, okay, one day of celebration, and their mindset is completely off. So I'll explain it like this. The same thing with Christmas. From Christmas to New Year's Eve, what do people do? Most people, well, it's not a bad idea to spend time with family, but most people just end up slacking off just because it's the holiday. Whether you're in school, whether you have work, it doesn't matter. If you're not working at your job, there's lots of things to do at home. There's always something to do. I believe God does not reward the sloth, lazy, and the arrogant. Well, sloth and laziness is the same thing, but arrogance and slothfulness, of course God isn't going to reward that, because that's something that is not allowing you to be the best that you could possibly be, when God knows your potential, but you just don't see it. And that's an incredible pill to swallow, to understand that and to be aware of that. But I just want people to understand, we're given so much. We have free will. We have the decisions we decide to make every day. And most people blow off these days, and they'll be motivated for the first day, the second day, the third day, maybe the first couple weeks. But by the end of the month, they're already progressing backwards into their bad habits, right? You've always heard the cliche. A lot of people do not take themselves seriously. A lot of people do not look at life as a way to achieve and succeed in the best, most capable way possible. Most people just blow it off. Most people pretend. Most people say, okay, I'm going to do this, XYZ. But then they break their own words. Their words have no meaning behind them. And that should be a reminder to us to not be like that at all. Our words should carry weight. What we say is what we mean. Say what you mean what you say. Put emphasis on the things that matter the most. And don't be distracted over the things that are temporal. Because a lot of people are celebrating right now, as you can hear. This is 2024. God gave us another year. And if you've been slacking, or if you've been behind and you haven't been looking at the times, and you've kind of blown off 2023, and you actually want to take it serious, you should start actively, seriously taking your life serious, and not just waste another year. I could just imagine how much time do people waste in a year. It'd be absolutely incredible to look at, because I think a lot of people spend time doing things that they don't really need to be doing, and we should be more conscious and aware of that. And I'm saying that to myself too, because it's a good thing to recognize. Otherwise, the same things are going to keep repeating, and we know what that's like. We know what the consequences of that. But as everybody is celebrating right now, you should be doing your absolute best to work hard, and work smart too, but incorporate both. If you work hard and you work smart and you put it together, you can achieve unimaginable things that you thought you could have never done. But like I said, most people right now, this is what's going on. People are having a good time. People are gonna be neglectful for a little bit, but then, it's just absolutely interesting to look at, because as an observer, as someone who wants to win in life, as someone who does a lot of things without the expectation of being seen for it, without the need for validation, without the need of approval for anybody, living my life as most competent as I can possibly be. And that's an active, everyday thing. It's not just a one-day thing, it's an everyday thing, it's a lifestyle. And I would hope that would encourage anybody to think and act wisely in that same manner. Especially taking care of your health. A lot of people take their health for granted, and our bodies are temples of the Most High God. We were made in His image. Remember that. We were made in His image. So He gave us a body. And if you're just gonna use, because we have a soul and we operate under the Spirit of God. When we're not operating under the Spirit of God, we let our temples go. And how are you allowing your soul to navigate in a temple that is corrupted? You know, it's just a really good question to ask yourself, because again, a lot of people don't take responsibility and accountability for every little thing that they do, which is extremely important. I emphasize that point so much. It is very important that you do that in every little thing, because every little thing that you decide to do is your fault, and you should think like that positively. Whether it's good or bad, you got to take the good with the bad. You can't just take everything that's good. That's not how life works. Life is a balance between the two. Without light, there wouldn't be darkness. Without good, there wouldn't be bad. You know, it's things like that. It's a yin and yang. But we should evaluate these things and be very, 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 very aware of the things that we're doing. And we should actively strive, man. It should be in the forefront most of your mind. It should be something that you live and you think about each and every single day, because we don't know when our time is up. Only God knows. But if we want to stick it for the long run, if we want to live life in a way that would lead us towards success, then why not choose that route? Either way, you're making a sacrifice. Life is full of pain. You can choose pleasure now and suffer later, or suffer now to experience joy in the future. That's a choice. And I choose to put myself in what's the word? I choose to put myself in my optimal choice of pain. I choose pain. I choose pain over pleasure, because within the pain you'll be able to find the pleasure of knowing that you're suffering now, so that by the time you're of old age, that you won't have to deal with a lot of the complications that our elders deal with. And these are decisions that we decide to make. And it's important to have our health as the most important thing. If we want to do anything in life, if our health isn't in check, then how are we expected to get to where we need to get to? If our health isn't in check. But it's a very important thing to take a look into, for sure. But as everyone is distracted right now, as everyone is focusing, as everybody's relaxing, as everybody's just, oh, it's the new year, people are going to be motivated for a little bit. But are you going to be the person who says, you know what, I'm going to work extremely hard this year, I'm going to accomplish all my goals, and I'm going to prepare myself for 2025 and so forth. Every single year you should be prepping yourself up for the next year, for success, for growth, for building, to be the most competent, most best, absolute version of yourself, and to be sure. Otherwise, you're going to live with regret. And that is not something that we as humans like to have, because it's eating. It's a soul issue. It eats at us every single day for the people who regret the things that they've done. And they wish they could have done this, or they wish they could have done that. But they chose to spend their time on things that don't matter. And this is the most emphasizing point, is that focusing, directing your vital energy unto the things that actually matter. Locking in, staying focused, being aware, being critical in the things that we do, and to show up every single day. If we show up every single day and we actually show that we care, then I believe God will reward that. If you don't think so, then you must not be trying hard enough. Because I best believe that if you put your health number one, your health is number one. You take absolute care of yourself. You do the best you can possibly do. You work out every day. You eat the right foods every day. You get enough sleep every day. And these are things that I'm still working on too, for sure. I'm not by all means at all a know-it-all. I don't. But God's given me enough wisdom to take a look at the patterns that everybody decides to take, the same traditional route that everybody wants to go down, but look where it leads you. Look where it leads you. And I don't want to go down that route. So I rather be perspicacious and be able to observe and see the trends that people are following. To not be part of that crowd, but to be part of a crowd who actually see a vision, to be part of a crowd who wants to build a future, to be part of a crowd that wants to build communities, to be part of a crowd that wants to build the family unit up, to be part of a crowd that wants to be the absolute best. Otherwise, what's the point of life? There is no other point. That's the truth. I mean, you could find another reason, but if that's not those important reasons, then you're not really living. You're just coasting by. And I refuse to be ignorant in that manner. I've been there, done that, and I've seen enough life to know that there's so much important things to focus on. And as long as I stay focused on the things that actually matter, I've seen nothing but good in my life. And all the glory goes to God. And I'm working every single day. I don't care if it's a holiday. I don't care if it's not my concern. Otherwise, you're gonna end up falling behind. But it's important to recognize that there are people out here in this world that are gonna outcompete you because of your gateway to excuse your laziness and to create it as a bad habit. And that's, again, we talking about self-accountability, we're talking about responsibility. That's a choice, and it's a hard pill to swallow. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, because you have to really take a look at yourself in the mirror, and you have to say, yeah, you know what, I've been lying to myself. I haven't been truly honest, and now I actually do want to take responsibility. I want to stop blaming other people for the reason why I am the way I am. You are who you are because of the things you did yesterday, and that's a cumulative, that's a build-up, that's a compound interest. It builds up. So that's why it's important to focus on what the day, and then that's the thing that we have to take a look at, because as we get a chance to wake up every single day, some people don't get to wake up, but as children of God, as we get another chance to wake up every day, we should take a look at the opportunities that we have and figure out what we can possibly do to accomplish whatever it is, and actively strive. Because if we're not doing that, again, like I said, we're just wasting time. And to understand that we are bounded by time, it's an interesting thing to look at, because we do have an expiration date, and that's the cold truth, man. We have an expiration date. We're gonna die one day, and we have to be ready to meet our maker. And I'd rather go out knowing that I've been the best that I could possibly be, and I can be sure of it, 100% sure, confident, like, hey, I tried my absolute best. Yes, I effed up back in the day, but I don't use that as an excuse, but I use that as a way of being a leader in my life and not being a victim, because there's no room for that, dude. There's literally no excuses, and we should be focusing on the life that we want to build. But I just leave this as a message because I just think it's super important that we take a look at these things, because the moment we let go of that, the moment we just decide to get complacent, to get procrastination, what's the word? To be a procrastinator, to be arrogant, to be too whatever it is, that's obviously not going to be a net positive in your life. You gotta find a way to get rid of it, dude. You gotta either talk yourself in the mirror, you gotta write it down, you gotta analyze your habits, you gotta do whatever it is. Because, man, dude, if you weren't already doing this in 2023, 2024 isn't gonna be any better, dude. So, eventually, you have to come to terms in the mirror and look at yourself and find out what it is that you actually want. And you know, it starts with being able to be influential in your family, eventually the community, and eventually the world. You want to leave an impact on the world. You want to leave a mark. You want to be that person. I mean, if you're not striving to be that person, I would fall into the category of people who are anxious and depressed, because anxious people are always progressively thinking about the future, and people who are depressed are always fixated on the past. And when our mind is boggled in like those type of thoughts, we're not taking a look at the gift that God gave us, which is the present. And if we blow that away, well, then that's a consequence that you have to reap. You know, you reap what you sow. Where you sow your seeds is what you're gonna get. Whatever your mind thinks, and where you water is what will grow. So learn to grow your garden, which would be your mind, in the right places. And if you need to visually see that, write it on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper so you can physically see it if you're a visual learner. But you gotta be able to what's the word? To be able to organize that in different compartments. Compartmentalize those ideas. But anyways, I just wanted to tune in. I just wanted to tell everybody, yo, it's 2024. It's a new year. A God-given new year. Let's not blow it off. Let's not be lazy. Let's not be complacent. Let's not be fixated on things that don't matter. Actually own your mind. Take responsibility for your life. Own up to this. All the things that you've done in the past. If you need to write it down and be able to let that go, because what's holding you back from your potential is the things that you're carrying on your back as burdens. And I know that everybody has different problems, but in life, one thing that I've really realized on this journey of being able to progressively grow and upgrade my avatar to be the best I can possibly be, one thing I've actually been able to analyze is that life is just a bunch of problems that we're all trying to solve. Especially for men. Like, I'll say it for men and women, but especially men, because we're pointed as the leaders for our women out here, and we need to be effective and efficient. for our women, man. I mean, eh, there's so many different factors that we can go into, but I'm not gonna get into that in this video. But if our men started thinking this way, I believe our women wouldn't be in the direction they're going. And I say that because if you just observe, I mean, dude, I don't have social media. I only have YouTube and WhatsApp, but it's just interesting. It's very interesting. But again, we can't blow this off, man. This is the most crucial year, dude. This is the crucial year. It's 2024. 2023, like I said, should have been that year if you should have been prepping. But if you're just hopping on the wave now, start, dude. Start. It's better to start now than never or later. And we should be focusing on the path of success. That should be we should always incorporate a winner's mindset into our lives each and every single day. I'm telling you, dude, it's important. We gotta actually love ourselves. If we actually, have that love for ourselves, then we'd be able to take those steps in doing such things. But you take a look at the times. But yeah, like I said, life is just full of problems to solve. If you focus on the right problems to solve, then I believe that it would put you in a place of success. And like I said, eventually, dude, you want to look out for your family, you want to look out for your community, but then you also want to leave your mark on the world and think of it as the world wouldn't be a better place without me. You should have that in your mind. Otherwise, you're going to fall into the category of incompetent people that are just going to fall off and not be remembered. Because like I said, we have an expiration date. We have we have a timer on our lives. So let us not get distracted during these times. Let us focus on the right things. Let us grow in abundance in everything that we do, and let us be able to not make any excuses and to optimize every God-given day that we have to the best of our ability. And I just wanted to let every single one of you guys know that you're not alone, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Give it to God and trust in Him, and don't forget Him when you're at the top and you're doing all the things that you need to do, and you're being the best, most absolute competent version of yourself. We need more men like this. We need more innovative, creative, visionary thinkers. We need builders. We need a lot of these guys, and my only hope is that God would use me to be able to be some sort of public speaker or some type of influencer that would be able to get the message out to the youth, because I believe for my generation that I'm a positive influence, I'm a positive force, and I just have when I see myself, I see value, and I believe that I can give that and I can bring that as a gift God's given me, possibly. But again, like, I'm still working on a lot of things, and I'm actively striving every single day, because every day is not for certain, and we need to be able to be men again, man. We need to do that. We need to see that 2024, it's the year. We're gonna lock in, we're gonna take it serious, and we're not gonna look back. And we're going to keep using every year as a building block for the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year. Because if we're not doing that, we're wasting our time. We're spending it on things that do not matter. Health is number one. If our health, like I said, if our health is not number one, how could we optimize and progress in the best way possible if our health isn't in check? So it's very impactful message that I want to leave for this new year, and to just set the intention, to set the minds who agree, to set the minds who see, and to set the minds who want to do. And all I would hope is that this reaches somebody, because like I said, every day, tick, 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 tick. Where are you spending those hours? Let us reflect. Let us think. Let us grow. Let us challenge ourselves through the adversities that we are given through God putting obstacles in our way. And let us be able to not be discouraged, but to keep moving forward no matter what it is, dude. You can do it. You can do it. I don't care what anybody says. You can keep moving forward. If you genuinely want to keep moving forward, that is a choice that you get to have, and that's a choice that you get to make. Understand yourself. Learn the things that you do that sometimes that you don't think about, or you're unconscious about. Like, think about it, dude. This is the most crucial moment of time. Use it properly. Stop doing things that do not matter. It's incredible how much time people waste, and this right now is work, because man, I'm really putting care into this, and I just really want to see people win. And I'm tired of seeing I'm tired of seeing us being defeated, dude. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, we should be winning out here. We should see more winners. We should see more people actively striving to do whatever it is that they want to do. And I will be the best that I can possibly be as a role model, not as somebody to be idolized, but to be a role model in those lives that don't probably feel that or don't see that. And that's totally fine, because we've all been there. But remember, 2024, we're given another year. No more BSing around. Focusing on the right things and being able to charge forward each and every single day. Show up, man. Show up. It's important. And even on those days where you don't feel like it, those are probably the best days to keep doing what you're doing, because it's going to be a compound effect. But anyways, I know I've been talking about a lot, but I just wanted to create this video as a message of hope, as a message of inspiration, as a message of motivation to be more disciplined, as a message to those who feel unheard, a message to those who just need that. And man, and it's so important, because I believe that we don't have a lot of people that have the correct guidance. And you know, I was one of those people too. But eventually you'll start seeing the patterns, and as you see the cracks of the matrix that we live in, God will be able to reveal these things to you as time goes on. If you're actually serious, if you actually care, may God be with you. 2024 is our year. 2025 will be our year. 2026 will be our year. Every single year will be our year. It does not matter what it is. We have work to do. We have things to get done. And time is limited. So optimize that in the best, most competent way as you can possibly achieve that. God bless. Happy 2024. I will see you soon. God bless. And I hope that this helped.